Hello friends, we have reached another milestone. We are now 200 strong. Thank you so much for all the support. In celebration of this milestone today, in this video, I am showing how to create this YouTube community post using a combination of few graphic design software. So let's get started. First, we will start Adobe Dimension. This is also a short introduction to this amazing 3D software from Adobe. Clicking Create New will open a new 3D space where we can put objects and create a 3D scene. You can change the background color from black to white. After that, I'll click Add Camera icon at the top and set the dimension of the canvas. I found the recommended dimension for square YouTube community post is 1600 by 1600 pixels. After that, I'll create a ground plane using the plane object from the left models panel. I'll create a set of walls using the cube and changing the width by dragging one of the controls shown in the object. You can duplicate the object by pressing Alt and dragging just like in Illustrator or Canva. You can also manually enter the rotation degree in the right transform panel. I am envisioning a scene where the celebration happens at the top of a building. We will add a background scene by just clicking on an image on the Images panel at the left. This will add the photo to the background. This will make it look like this is the top of a building from where the city is seen. I will next group all the walls objects and apply a default matte material to all of them. A matte material is something that doesn't reflect light, so it is more akin to walls and floors. After that, I'll add color to the material. I'll use my brand color. Occasionally you can turn on ray tracing at the top to see a more realistic and refined view of the scene. You can see Adobe Dimension is not a complex software to use. The interfaces are pretty intuitive, and I bet you will learn this tool in a few days to a week. It is just the right amount of tools to do your job. Next, we will add text object and set the text to 200 in a big bold font. You can also change the anchor to center by changing the alignment to center. Let's increase the depth to make it more distinct and also stable. We can introduce bevel to add some decoration to the surfaces and make it a little more complex and interesting. Next, we will add materials to the different parts of the text by dragging the material and dropping in the part of the text as shown here. We can assign a different material to each of the 4 parts of the text object by dragging the material and dropping to the respective parts. For our next object, we will download the YouTube logo and create a 3D version of it and place it on the scene. We will use Adobe Illustrator to create a 3D version of the logo. We will use the 3D extrude and bevel feature of Illustrator and add bevel to make it a little more interesting. Once the model is ready, we will export the object as OBJ format and then import it in Adobe Dimension. We will rotate and place it where it will look nice as a composition. You can also change the color of the material. I'll change the color of the front face of the 200 to make it a little more bright and shiny. Next, we will add a cube and place a logo on its surface. You can just drag an image or label or logo from the outside and drop it in the object, and it will apply the image on the object. Finally, we will apply some environmental lighting to light up the scene and make it more bright and appealing. On the left in the lighting panel, you can choose from a number of lighting setup. Just click on the different setup and choose the one that you think is best for the scene. We can also add a 3-point light, which offers more control. We can individually change the intensity, color, and other properties of each of the 3 lights as shown here. So our scene is ready, and we are ready to render to generate our final image. Just click on Render at the left tab and choose PNG and Quality as high for the best result. Please note, if you have a dedicated graphics card, then this process will be a lot faster. So here is the final result. You can see how good the result is with ray tracing. For the next step, we will import this image in Canva and create the composition. I have chosen Canva at this step because in the elements Canva has hundreds and thousands of graphics for any theme. They have nice celebration themed graphics, which can come in handy for this design. So I'll add some party elements like confetti and ribbons to create a celebration scene. So we have added the decoration elements, and now we are ready to move on to the next step. We will download the composition so far and import it in Photoshop and add few more things. One of the best things about Photoshop is the generative fill option. Just select the area where you would like to generate items and give a prompt and click on Generate, and it will generate the image using AI. Furthermore, when generating, it will take the whole image context so that the generated objects don't seem out of place. Here I am generating some confetti on the floor. Next, let's add the thank you text at the bottom. I'll add a drop shadow to the logo to separate it from the same colored background. I'll brighten the 200 text a little using Layer Mask on Brightness Adjustment layer. Finally, some camera raw adjustments for final touch-up. This feature has everything in one place. You can adjust light, color, texture, saturation, blur, etc. I am adding a little texture and some grain to make the scene not so polished and computer generated. Oh, there is a slight error here. You can select the parts partially, and then use Generative Fill to add the missing part. Now it looks much better. Let's save the project and export our final composition. So here it is, our final design. Hope you like it. Finally, let's add our post for the community. So there it is, my friends. As a designer, it is better to accommodate yourself with a variety of tools available. In this video, we created a composition using Adobe Illustrator, Canva, Photoshop, and Dimension. By knowing the strengths and weaknesses of these tools, we can decide which tool to turn to for the task in hand. This gives more power. I am always thankful for the support you have given. I'll continue to bring helpful videos regarding graphic design and creative arts. This much for now. See you soon with another interesting topic.